Hi everybody, back for a little top-up reading really, because so much has happened. There's been the fire, of course, and unfortunately someone has actually lost their life because Trump was too mean to put in sprinklers. So even that's his own home and he's stingy. How bizarre is that? So there was that. There's also the raid on Michael Cohen. And viewers, you've been quick to point out, I did call that. I said at the end of the Cohen reading, I think this is moving from Trump and Stormy into Mueller looking at Cohen. So that's exactly what has happened. But that got me thinking about John Dowd, who's resigned as Trump's lead attorney. And we talk on this channel quite a bit about pardons and what they mean and whether he could do them and so forth. So apparently legally, I was reading, according to Politico's legal team, a president can issue pardons but not corruptly. So what that means is the president can retrospectively issue a pardon on someone for whatever reasons, but not in his own best interests. In other words, you can't ask someone to shut up for you and I'll give you a pardon. And so there is talk, this is exactly what was happening, and John Dowd was involved in those conversations. He denies it, but I'd like to take a quick look at the cards. Will Mueller go after Dowd for obstruction of justice? Because dangling a pardon to a witness is obstruction of justice. So let's have a little look, shall we? So, Mueller and Dowd and pardons. Okay. Alright, just a quick one here. What is going on for John Dowd? Okay, in the middle, the Four of Wands. On the one hand, a celebration, a victory of sorts. But as I've pointed out with this card, often the people, it's hard to see with a poor quality camera like this, but the people are very small in the background and they're actually looking away from those who are celebrating. So this is about claiming a success without being accountable to the people. And another phrase for summing up this card, which is the proportions of the card, the huge Four Wands, and even the celebratory figures are quite small. It's about falling short. So his role as an attorney for Trump fell short in some way. In the past, he is a man of willpower. He is a heavyweight attorney on some levels. So the Two of Wands suggested a cultured man and a man who's thinking about things. He's not a fly-off-the-handle type like Gary Cohn in New York. So he's a bit more measured than that. A figure with the world in his hands, and he took on the role of being the lawyer to the President of the United States, one of the most powerful roles in the world. Now, underneath that, he's basically hoping it'll all go away. He's made his money, he's got his money, he's holding on to his money. This card to me is one of the few cards in the Rider-Waite that hints at a city. And so maybe he's moving cities to try and keep one step ahead. But he's hoping it'll go away. But I don't know that it will. Mueller's pretty thorough. On top of his reading is the Empress. So kind of strange in the sense of an older man's card. This card is about fertility and things growing. So if you were hoping things weren't going to change, you wouldn't want to be seeing the Empress card, which is about things proliferating and growing. So I've just got a feeling that Dowd might be in hot water. This card, his outcome card, excuse me, the Wheel of Fortune, also suggests he's not done. He's resigned. He wanted to disappear, but he's not done. He's caught up with his karmic fate with this. He was seduced by having one of the top jobs in the world. And if you look at both these cards, this card has the world in his hands, but this one is the Wheel of Fortune, also is emblematic of the world spinning. It's coming around. The cycle's coming around. So I would be a bit concerned if I was John Dowd. Now, because that was so short, I'm going to do another short one on Trump, because I'm a bit intrigued. Viewers, you can tell me, but isn't this the second fire in Trump Tower in a few months? I mean, there was another one, wasn't there? I didn't make it up or dream it. So 2 fires in Trump Tower. And also, we should not forget there were 4 firefighters injured. Now, those sort of injuries, I presume it was smoke inhalation or something. They're not good for your overall health. So 1 dead and 4 injured. Is there going to be a court case for Trump over this fire? Apparently, the gentleman who passed away was an art dealer. Some say it was Andy Warhol's art dealer. I don't know if that's true. But he's been trying to sell his apartment in Trump Tower for months because it's so horrible to live there, because there's all this security tramping around it all the time, and not wanting to be associated with it so much now. And he couldn't sell it. He couldn't sell it. So he really wanted out. So that's really sad. So is there a wrongful death suit in the pipeline for Trump? Is there a lawsuit for Trump in the fire? Lawsuit for Trump. All right. Page of Cups, first off the rank here. The pages are opportunity, so there is an opportunity, obviously, for this to happen. It might be one of the younger people who live or work in Trump Tower that begins this. But I'd imagine most of the residents would be upset now with the second fire. So, all right, wands. Wands representing fire. Okay, so we won't labour that point. But in the past, the Knight of Wands, which is someone who wants to make things right, but is slightly holding back. So I'd suggest, in a reading about a lawsuit about an apartment block like this, this was people who have already asked him to do something about it. They've just been quite moderate and asked him, and he's failed to do it. I don't know whether this is Trump. I don't see. He didn't even mention the dead man or the injured firefighters. So I don't think it's his broken heart. I think it's the heart of the relatives of the man and perhaps other residents. So it also could be the heart of the family of the firefighters. But there are at least 3 people or 3 parties who are really upset about this. So perhaps it's a younger relative of the man who died unnecessarily, solely because of Trump's meanness. people are prepared to work on this as a case. They're prepared to work hard, right? So in other words, with this opportunity, the man who did lose his life could be seen as a martyr to this court case, the trigger for the court case. Queen of Wands outcome here. I'm seeing the Queen of Wands in her more judicial capacity. This would not surprise me as an outcome. I think there's quite a high chance there will be a court case about this. Okay, everyone, just touching base. See you real soon.